Good afternoon, guys. It is October 31st, 2022. On this video here, I'm going to give you a review on this FRIGIDAIRE dehumidifier. This is designed to remove humidity from the air and work to keep the moisture level at a good, comfortable level, but also just to reduce the chance of mold and other problems. These are great for multiple applications. Maybe you don't use your air conditioning as much, but you're still needing to get rid of the humidity. Maybe your basement is very moist. Maybe you have some other area in your house that's very moist and hard to control the humidity. In our case, in our house, during the summer months, we do store some of our harvest from our garden in the garage to cure. And here in the Midwest, it's like very humid in the summertime. And so the garage gets very, very humid, and so anything that stays in the garage won't cure properly and will rot. So we typically just run this all summer in the garage, and it's been a true workhorse. I mean, we've had it for 2 years now, and it is, so far I have not noticed even the slightest issue with it. It's been running almost 24/7 for like 4, 5, 6 months out of the year. Typically in the fall and winter we don't use it, but usually from about June through, I would say, August, September, we are running this thing constantly in the garage. It has been a wonderful workhorse. It has worked very, very well. So, turn on the light. Get some more light on the subject. So yeah, it is a very large machine. It's got wheels, so it functions very well. It's got a carry handle. This is a Frigidaire, and there's the rating sticker. It's model FFAD3533W1. If you're looking for this particular model. Now there are quite a few features on this thing. I believe when we bought it, it was about I think like $170 or something. So it wasn't necessarily cheap, but it wasn't horrible considering what this is. Now, the cord length, I don't know off the top of my head how long the cord is, but I would say it's probably a good 8 to 10 feet at least. I don't know, maybe a little shorter, I'm not sure. So it's got a good thick cord. It's a grounded plug, and it's very flat. As you can see, that's where it's plugged in right there. So it's best to plug that in on the bottom plug if you're outlets are set up like mine. Few features. You have a filter here, and it's basically just a mesh filter that helps it not to, draw stuff into the coil. There, and here it is. Trying to do this one-handed. So yeah, I mean, you can just brush that off, vacuum it off. You can even rinse it, with the hose or in the sink or whatever. You should be good to go. Make sure I'm putting this back in right. Just 1 second. Okay, so I got it in. Just had it in upside down. So it just goes in like this. Now, this panel does feel a little bit flimsy, so I have to be careful when you're removing it. You don't need to take this out all the time, but let's say every few months you just take it out and clean it out. Now, a couple other features on this unit. Got this little thing here, and what that is it's designed for you to connect a hose to run to a drain or outside if you have a lot of moisture, so that way you can just let this thing run and you don't have to worry about dumping the container. So that's that. So that's all the features on the back of the unit. While I was there, figured I'd show those. Let me turn it around. Need 2 hands to do this. Okay, so basically what you have is you have a filter reset. Now that will show a little red light when the filter needs to be cleaned off. Have a timer feature, humidity level settings, and fan speed settings, and a power button. So I'm going to turn it on. So as you can hear, it's a little noisy, but it's not so loud. I don't think it would be unbearable to listen to. That's just my opinion. Depends on your sensation of loud, but it actually pushes out quite a bit of air, and this is just on the low fan speed setting, and this is what I typically leave it at. In our garage, you have, sorry, that was the power button. As you can tell, I barely even touched this. So that's low. That's high. Now that pushes out a lot of air. You can see that pushes out a lot of air. It's medium and low. Okay. Now, generally, we just leave it on low. We just run this in our one-car garage, like I said, in the summer months, because it's an attached garage. It has no um, climate control in there, no heating or air conditioning, um, but yeah. But you'll hear the compressor kick in. Now you can set it to different settings. This is the percentage of humidity. Set it as high as 85% and as low as 35%. And if you hit it one more time, that CO stands for continuous, so that means that will allow the unit to run continuously and not shut off at all until the bucket is full. Once the bucket is full, the unit will shut off regardless of what setting you have it on. So, generally in our garage, we set it at like 45%. And that is a good level for storing our produce that we're trying to cure. So, and then that's off. So as you can see, that's a good arrangement of different settings. Oh, I forgot to show you the timer. I never use the timer. So, let's see. Looks like a half hour, 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 3.5, 4. Goes all the way up to 24 hours. It's kind of nuts. You can turn off the timer. So, again, I've never used that feature. Some people might, so it was worth showing. Now, here's your bucket down here. Now, I'm going to pull it out. I need 2 hands for this. And it actually beeps when you have it out, just letting you know, hey, bucket is not in place. And so that would fill up, and then this is your little float here. Once it reaches a certain level, it'll shut off the machine and not allow it to run until you empty it. And you can empty it out at this port or out this port here. I find it easier to empty it this way because it's on the edge. And you just dump that out. Never use this water for drinking or anything like that. That's what it says in the manual. But there is a little indicator here. See that red plastic strip? That will show in that window where your water level is at. So, just pop it in like that. Oh, and it does have a carry handle right there, if I didn't mention that. For you to carry it where you need it to be emptied. Basically, when we run this in the summer, we have plants right outside, and so I just take that and I just water the plants with it. It's totally fine to do that. Save you money on your water bill, and they're just plants. It's just water. So, yeah, I think that's about it. It is Energy Star rated. And it's been a really good machine. It's meant to be used for hours and hours on end. Oops. Accidentally hit the on button. It's got a carry handle up here. Like I said, now this unit is heavy. It is not a light machine by any stretch of the imagination. Now, you won't have to necessarily move this all that much, but when you get this thing home, just a forewarning, that box is going to weigh a ton, okay? So, just be careful. But it is on wheels. It does have casters, so you can move it around, and actually moves okay on my low pile carpet. Obviously it moves better on hard surface floors, concrete, whatever. But yeah, so this is the carry handle. Wow, that thing is heavy. I'm not sure what the weight is on this. I'm guessing it's probably close to 30 pounds, at least. I could be wrong on that, but it's heavy. So, but yeah, it's a very useful machine. This unit is designed to be run between like 80 degrees Fahrenheit and 65 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe. So this is a warmer weather unit. It's not really designed for like colder climates. So if you're using this for colder applications, this is not the machine for you. But if you're using it primarily in the summertime, it's should be a good unit. And like I said, this thing has been running almost non-stop for months and months and months on end in our garage. I literally don't even think about it. Like, it's just in there doing its job. I don't think about it at all. Other than, oh, I should check and see how it's doing, if I need to empty it. That's pretty much it. I don't worry about it. I don't mess with the settings. I don't turn it off. I don't adjust the fan speed. I don't do anything. It's just set at 45% humidity and it just runs. So, and if you use that hose port in the back there, then you really don't have to think about anything because it's just going right to a drain or something. And yeah, so anyway, that about does it for this review on this FRIGIDAIRE dehumidifier. Do I recommend this? Yes, absolutely. Now, what are some of the pros and cons to this unit? Well, I will say that there are more pros than cons that I can see. I mean, in the 2 years that we've used this, and we've used this really hard, pros are it's very easy to operate. It's very easy to understand the controls. Um, Me personally, I'm not a big fan of the electronic control displays on appliances like these. But this one I'm actually okay with. It's been reliable, it hasn't given me any problems, and it's pretty easy for me to understand. You just power, fan speed, humidity level, timer, and then filter reset. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty simple. Um, so, um, yeah. In my experience, it's pretty quiet, it's very powerful, it's very efficient at what it does, and it's very easy to just use and not really have to think about. There's not a whole lot that you have to really think about. Um, as for the cons, there are not very many cons. However, there is one con that I would say, and this is not necessarily something that is a bad thing, it's just something to think about. The one con is the weight. This thing is a beast to carry. Okay, it is not a light machine. It is very heavy, very large, and it is not very easy to move around, aside from the wheels. And so, if you have to carry this thing up and down the stairs, which most of the time you're just going to put this in the room that you need it in and just leave it there. Most of the time you're not going to move it around. But me personally, I cannot carry this thing up and down the stairs. There is no way that that's happening with, my physical abilities. I'm just not able to do that. Um, it's extremely large and it's extremely heavy, and I cannot carry it up and down the stairs. But, like I said, most people are just gonna put this in the room that they need it in, and they're just gonna leave it. And so that's not really a con that I would say is a make or break deal. And the heaviness is probably a good thing in the sense that it's going to be very stable, because all that weight is down there. It's not going to tip over. Like, if I bump this thing, it's not going to easily just tip over. Like, I would really have to just shove to get it to tip. So, so that's good. Oh, and another pro is it's very easy to empty. That container, when it's totally full, can get a little heavy, so just be aware of that. It can splash a little bit when you're carrying it, so just be careful when it's full. And yeah, that's about it. Not much else I can think about. This machine is solid. I think for the price of like 170 bucks, I think it is a great machine. I have no complaints with it at all. It does an extremely good job. It has done very well at keeping our garage at the humidity level we need like pretty much precisely. I mean, we even have a humidity uh, monitor in there, like to show what the humidity level is in there. It's pretty much exactly what this thing says. So it does an extremely good job. Um, it works really well. Um, and I think this would really do a good job in a large home um, or a large space. Maybe you have a large basement, a large um, space that you need this for. I think this is a good machine for that. So anyway, that about sums up my review on the FRIGIDAIRE dehumidifier. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. I'm sure you can find this on Amazon. I'm not the one who purchased it, so I don't know for sure, you know, everything about it, but I just figured I'd give this review just to share my experience and knowledge on this for anybody who is in the market for a dehumidifier. Um, this is an excellent machine. Well worth the investment. It's been very reliable. It has not had any problems that I can see. Um, so, very happy with it. Thank you for watching. Hope this was informative. Bye bye.